got a little troll toll here under the bridge. Oh no, it's a canoe. It's boats. Okay, I'm going to come if I want to have a wee sail down the river, eh? That's pretty cool. We've got quite a good signal here, guys, so you should be getting a good picture. I like this. I like the colour of the stone here. So today, guys, we're at Newlands Kirk, Peeblesshire. I had to come down here because I was reading some research and it's talking about these daisies up on the hill. The terracing, agricultural terracing, old ones. So I'm going to have an exploration around. There's an old kirk here as well, an old church, old churchyard. There's the hills with the daisies on it, so it looks an interesting area. It's West Linton, so Peeblesshire. Just parked the car over there. Try to hide it away. Some nice oak trees. Like a row of them. Got the river on that side. The oak trees on this side. Pretty old. Creates like a perimeter. Who's the first in the chat to get a mention? He looks older than anyone. That bad boy. Look at that old oak tree. He's an old one. So there's the graveyard there. But I heard about this terracing up here. It faces beside the... I kind of seen it on the maps as well. So, but the research was from 130 years ago or something. So these terraces could have worn away through time. Let's go and have a look at the old kirk first. Old ruined church. New Kirkland. Doesn't even look like a new kirk anymore. Looks like an old kirk. This must be the same hills Robert Chambers was talking about in my research I was reading in my last video, guys. He talks about massive terracing. You can see some scarring on the hills there. I'll probably go up and have a closer look, but you can see there is something there. Investigate the old graveyard first. Check the tree just posing itself on the wall. It's a pretty overgrown graveyard, pretty forgotten about. Cool though. I think I've seen a gate on the other side. Look at this tree. It's an old maple tree. It's a beast though. Got my shorts on today, guys, so the jaggies are going to be a bit of a problem. Look at that. That's like terracing. Here. This is like terracing. With wood. Look at that. Might be another way in. That tree's awesome. It just imposes itself. That's an old tree, and this wall's old. And the wall was there first, I think. This is private here. Someone's house. So I think there's a gate round the other side. I'm going to have a wee look. The gravestones look kind of later on, like maybe 18th century. We'll see the church, see how old that is. But this looks like terracing. That tree. That's a beast. It's a beast. Like I say, I'm not sure if it's a maple. I just had to blow a big beetle thing off my arm there. You see, there was more of the church. It's probably a crucifix shape. It probably had a piece jutting out this way and it probably had a piece on the other side. I've seen a black gate over here. The day I choose to wear my shorts and it's not that great weather. Definitely smells like countryside around here. Oh. How you doing anyway, people? Anyone in chat yet? No. Just watching. That's cool. Don't mind people just watching. I've all got plenty to say anyway. I was just going to give you a wee shout out if you were in the chat. Anyway, Colonel George Mackay. That's a chestnut tree. I've never seen a spring loaded. Oh, it's unusual. It's an unusual style of gate, I've got to say. It's spring loaded. This is very overgrown. It smells like death. It actually smells like death in here. I don't know if that's just the countryside and the fields, but it's 1832. Captain Aeneas Mackay. Get his name, of Scotstoun. Died 1807, 56. Nothing really inside it. Right. There's the abandoned church here. There's a nice cross, nice Celtic cross. Jesus, it's really overgrown. It's a shame. It's a darn shame. Henry Dubbs, Caroline Jane Lorimer, who died at Callendar, or Callans, 12th day of March 1912, aged 9 months, 53. Fully weeds. Just fully weeds now. Still got a decent, see, because of this stone, this grey stone, it's solid. You can see they've kind of repaired this in the past. Concrete. And now they've just sort of left it to crumble. Just goes to show that none of these people in this graveyard have got any ancestors that care. who they were. Isabella Mackey, another kind of plot. Is it Robert Watson? Try and get inside the church. Sarah Kennedy. There's a cool one. This looks a bit older. 1771. Aged 26 years. Here's it, Fred Maryhad. The spouse to David Cossar. It's quite a cool one. That's probably one of the older ones in the area. 1771. So it's 1771. Yep. This is one of the older stones. Right, no mask. Andratsy, how you doing, man? Thank God it's Friday. Your dad tends and cleans the graves. That's good. I'm always tempted myself, but I don't know if you're allowed, if you're going to damage it or not. So we're in Peeblesshire, no mask. We're getting around, We're getting around, mate. We're definitely getting around, and it's this location. Oh, there's a cool grave, man. There's a nice one. Look at that. Henry something. Someday. Can't make that out. This is old. This is an old. This could be 16s. 16s or 17s possibly. Oh, that's cool, man. Try and get some of this grass back. Look at that. Look at that. It'll be cool to see this whole grave. Oh, it's hard to see in the date there. Sometimes I can look, I think I can see George. Is it George? Sometimes I can see it back when I look on the video. But this is a Mason's grave, I think. Try to see the date. Can't find the date on it. But I'd say this is 17th century. Probably 1600s, or it could be 18th. But it's an old one. Definitely. Right, we've got to try and get in the church through this window. Whoa. End. The end is nigh. More graves over here. That looks quite a late one. 1919 Royal Scots. Private W. Hayton, Royal Scots, 19th of January 23. So we've still got a nice preserved Gothic style window here. Looks like sandstone it's been built of. Different stone from the actual, was it a bridge? Seen the bridge down there? Oh, it's nice, it's like a red sandstone. Oh, it's nice in here. There's a wee fireplace as well. Look at that. Got a fireplace down here. Like a wee cosy room here. probably an older building here at one point. But I'm just going to walk around here and go in here, have a look around. Pretty cool though. Usually find that the gravestones inside the church are later, obviously, because the oldest gravestones outside the church, they were using the church at the time. But there's a nice memento mori there. Look at that one. There's a cherub, the winged cherub. They used to look a lot scarier. The more older ones have got scarier faces. More like skulls, like flying demons. You can see the skull and crossbone here. The beasties coming out and the woodlouse. It's a nice grave, that one. Try and see in it. It's glory, guys. City all mossed up. There's some more stuff up here. I don't know. That's loose stone. It could be initials, in fact. Detail. Try to figure out who this is. Here lies. Don't know who that is. I can hear a dog though, barking. Hiya! It's alright. Hiya! He's a big... I'm just exploring the churchyard. I'm just exploring the churchyard. It is, aye. It's a pity it's so overgrown. It's a pity it's so overgrown. Yeah. Oh, the masonry. Aye, there is loose bits up there, aye. Yeah, but it's got a wee fireplace and a wee room and everything in there. It's nice, aye. Right. Uh-huh. Oh, these have got more interesting gravestones anyway. I like the gravestones as well. Aye, I've seen that one, aye, already. I've just been wiping the moss off that one, trying to see the skull and bones underneath. Yeah, but it is, it's lovely. Cheers. Aye, it wouldn't be a normal walk in the middle of nowhere without somebody talking to the Jedi boy. Here we are, guys, we've came through the doorway. Yeah, we've got the wee fireplace there. It would have been a cosy wee room back in the day. A lot of these graves would be quite late, because these would have been put in there once the church fell into disrepair. We're probably still using the graveyard, so. Oh, there's some wild strawberries, guys. Look. Some wild strawberries. Always seem to grow in graves. And I call them soul strawberries. It's like eating the souls of the people in here. You guys ready for a soul berry? Now I've got a party. Whoever's in here and me. But I done this torficking as well. There was a grave with wild strawberries just growing out of it, and I thought, why not, eh? Why not? So I'm just consuming all my ancestors around me as well, like literally through the plants. But aye, wild strawberries, guys. Look, these are wild strawberries. See, not many ripe ones, but I might come back here. Oh. The sticky willies in the way. Got the wee. That's the thing. There's another one. Those soul berries. Right. Anyway, got a good signal down here. I look like a skull with a sun in it, or a cog in it. Quite interesting. But the locals know I'm here now, so. This is fell off. You see, this was part of. This was up here at some point. Old chain, look at that. Wonder what that was for. Because that looks like it's part of the actual church. Wonder if the disbelievers got chained to the. So aye, we've got the wild strawberries and that, guys, growing in the graves. Like I says, that's not the first time I've ate. Nettle. That's a cool grave. There's another one over there. It's pretty cool. Skull and crossbones. Turnhouse. 1776. 1776. Doubt the council come here. I doubt the council come here very often, to be honest with you. If they do, it grows quick in here. What would I have on my grave when the time comes? That's a good question though, Mask, I've got to say, and it's one I've never really thought about, because it is quite a... Look at the bars on the window here. That's quite unusual. All bars on the window in a church. I wonder if it was used for something else after it fell into disrepair, maybe a prison. Maybe part of it was used as a prison. But it's a good question, mate. I've probably not got an answer right now for you, unfortunately. This sticky willy, man. Sticky willy. James Mackintosh of La Mancha. It's an interesting name, La Mancha. I passed there when I came through. See this tree just growing out the rocks here. Look at that. It's a tree. It's a full-scale tree. Kind of, if you don't remove this would, in time, this would just destroy this whole wall. Really. You need to get that removed, definitely. Although it's beautiful. Again, a tree in the rocks. Again, this is what destroys the buildings eventually. Nature will overtake it in the end. Who's this here? Mackintosh of La Mancha of and Ellen Louisa, his wife. Harrogate, 25th April 1919, aged 84. And James, their eldest son, who died at Calcutta, 3rd of February 1921. So Mackintoshes are here. So if you're any relation to the Mackintosh, there's a few here. Wonder what was here. That looks like a little pit. There's James Mackintosh again. It's almost like a little Mackintosh shrine in this part. But look at it, it's interesting, this red sandstone. The way it goes, the sort of ochre colour. It's more grey on this side. That's maybe the fire damage. This is maybe fire damage, in fact. What the woman was speaking about, how it was burned down. This is probably what happens to the rock when you burn it. And it looks like the fire was probably on this side of the building. Here. It's just sort of, it's burned, it's charred the rock to a redness. So guys, that's another John Bunn Mackintosh. There's another Mackintosh there, so Margaret Hasty, wife of James Mackintosh. So if you're a Mackintosh, you might be related to these people. Beautiful place. This is like the old Scottish style, this architecture. See the arches? It's like Romanesque. It is, it's like Roman, but the Scots sort of built their stuff like that. And when the Romans came, they done the more pointed. See, you've got the square windows here. The square windows here and the arch here. This is more indicative of Romanesque style architecture. As this is more like Gothic, Norman Gothic style, again with these kind of windows. But mind you, they're not too pointy. I'd say they're more arching than pointy. They're probably more archy than Gothic. I don't even know what I'm talking about here. Just rambling on. Anyway, I wonder why I go on these tangents sometimes. I ask myself. Thomas Laidlaw and the 4 children who died in their infancy at Halmire. Also sister Janet Laidlaw, who died at Romano Bridge, which is just there guys, Romano Bridge. Thomas Laidlaw, Janet Laidlaw, William, that's all Laidlaws. So if you're Laidlaw, Geddes, that's another Geddes, or Geddes. We're back round to the other side of this. Aye. This looks like the original, one of the original sort of sides of the church. This part here. You sort of notice all different styles of architecture through the ages, like when churches have been destroyed and rebuilt and added on to, and you can see all the different parts that were there before. I wonder what was in this. It's like a little ledge. Can't see any inscriptions of anything really. More nettles to the legs. It's quite a cool grave, that one. Here lies Robert. Is that Judinson? Tenant in Whiteside, who died December 29th, 1734, aged 71-year-old. It's also his spouse, is it Margaret, and 4 children, Isabella, John, Margaret, Richard. So you've got kind of a whole family here. These ones look sort of newer. It's sand. That's the thing about sandstone. You shouldn't. I don't know why they used the sandstone for gravestones. I suppose it's easy to carve decoration into sandstone, but when it comes to time, it doesn't fare well over the years. I've got to say, it wears away. Just a road. Sometimes they can be alright if they're in a decent sort of location, if they're sheltered, the sandstone ones. Right, is there any more graves to look at before I go and investigate these daisies, these terraces? What is stand on anything else? That's quite a cool one. The tools of the trade. You've got some scissors and it looks like a press or something. Maybe this was a tailor. And on the other side you've got the typical skull and crossbones and the hourglass that represents time. These trees, man. These are beasts. I like the writing here. That's nice, neat writing. Also, memory of sons Andrew died at Toronto, 13th of November 1899, aged 48. George died at Singapore, 1902, aged 46. William Cunyon died at Bishopston, Sussex, 19th of July, 1907, 54. In memory, Urquhart, Peter Rothney. See, this is what I try and explain to people. See, this Rothschild, this whole Roth, this is a Scottish word. Irish, Scottish. It's got its roots in Scotland. This Roth. And everyone thinks the Rothschilds are Jewish and come from Germany and the Red Shield and blah, 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 blah. It's all bullshit. The original Rothschilds are from Ireland and Scotland. And you see it in the names like Glenrothes and Rothsay and Rothney. The whole word Roth is a Scottish word. Irish word. I think it maybe comes to Old Irish. But everybody's fooled with the whole Rothschild surname. They just eat up all the crap they find on the internet. But I've found lots of Rothschilds involved in Scotland and Ireland. Anyway, child, by the way, Roth, I think Roth means red, something like that. And child, Childe, child, that was like a rank in the army. It's almost like a steward or a marshal, something like that. A child was something like that. Like a marshal. Right, I want to see these terraces actually originally came for. Fleming, James Fleming. Right, I'm going to walk back down to the bottom and just walk along and see if I can get an open shot of this. There's a lot of cattle and stuff in there. So this is Newkirk, Peeblesshire. Newlands Kirk, sorry. It's called Newlands Kirk. It's West Linton, Peeblesshire. Lonesome grave there. In loving memory of Lucy Alexandra Esther Jackson. 8th of August 1983 to the 11th of September 1984. What a shame, it's only a child, a 1-year-old child here. That sheep needs to shut up, like. I'm going to boot it in the jaw. Right, this looked an old one. Yeah, it's not that old. Isabella Stewart, who died at Newlands, which is here, 1925, aged 79. Look at that. That one. Now, what name's that? That's quite an old one, this one. It's hard to see what's actually on it. Like I said, I'll look back on this and probably see the name properly. Right. I'm going to take myself out to the graveyard and take a walk and get a better view of this. These hills, according to my research, it's got the terracing on it. So I'm going to climb these hills. I just need to look at the best angle of attack. That's a nice one. Merchant in Edinburgh. We'll just jump this wall. Sorry guys, got on my leg there. The wire. Right. So I don't know if you can somehow get in this field. Have a quick smoke though. Lichens can be used for dating things, I think. No off switch for thinking freehand fonts. Ah, that's pretty cool. Skepticism stone. Nah, I don't know either. Just throwing it out there. It's a strange one to think about. It might even be a science. It might be, mate. You see this river? This is the river. That was the river. This is the sea. Right guys, so I'm going to look for this terracing and it looks like there is. And see, when I looked on Google Maps, guys, as well. When I looked on Google Maps, there's a ring at the top of this hill. There's a big ring. I don't know if it's for cattle, or if it was an old roundhouse or something at the top of this hill. But we're seeing some of the terracing here, guys. See these lines? But the research I got this from was from like 1850s, so you're talking like 180-year-old or something. I'm just got to finish my smoke, people. I'm going to jump this fence. Well, come on, I'm just going to jump this fence. It's just because I've got one thing. My hands are full. I've got my camera in one hand and my smoke in the other. You see there's a lot of scarring on the. Oh, over my ankle. Oh, that ram came running it. Bird will start attacking me. Look. It's got young. It's got horns as well. You see the terracing? Definitely terracing on this hill here. You see it? You know these lines. I don't know if the camera does any justice to the terrace that we see. Go under this barbed wire. Oh. Jesus, nearly tripped over that. That's the dangers of live streaming. You don't always watch where your foot's going. Well, there's definitely terracing up here. You can see it. And it's south facing as well. This is south facing, so the guy in the research was right. See, it comes all the way down the hill. See, so it comes to a dead end here. Just over a barbed wire. So like the guy Robert Chambers says in his research, these hills were covered with terracing as well. And you can see it. But according to the maps, I'm just doing the crusty shit. According to the maps, there's a sort of round hut up here or something. There's traces of something. It's not exactly any structural remains, but there's definitely like some kind of ring. I'm just going to walk over this way. Oh, there's coos over here, man. A big bull, look. Big Angus coos. Right, I think I'm maybe going to make a beeline across this field and up the hill. What do you think, guys? That looks like a nice way to get up the hill. That looks steep. That's very steep. That, there's a little, it's almost like there's a pathway. Right. I don't want to disturb the animals too much. But in Scotland, like we say, we've got freedom of roam, so I'm not really trespassing. As long as I'm not causing any harm to the land or the environment I'm in, I can pass through. I've got to say, these aren't as obvious as the Roscobi ones that I've filmed. I've photographed more obvious terracing than this. How do I get over this fence? Climb this hill. We're going to climb this hill, guys. We're going to see what's on the top of it. If we can get over the fence. It's quite a sharp one. Get this one looking at me with the horns. Yeah. Same again, you've got this sort of flat area at the bottom. This was probably water back in ancient times. Like I said, a lot of this was floodland, marshland. It was mushy. But this looks like it could be a decent part to walk through. I'll just get my... Oh. This is like it's like a half moon shaped sort of canyon I'm in. This could have been an old quarry of some type. This part here. You can see some remnants of something. Jeez. I think there's water running about here somewhere. Oh shit. My feet just sink in. It's marshland. Oh. Aye, so it's like in the front of this hill, there's like a half moon. Oh, steep. Steep. See, it comes in. See that ram's up there still, isn't he? He'd put me back down the hill. Oh. He's running. He's running. Right, so looks to be a nice track up here. Looks like vehicles might even use it. Nah, I doubt vehicles use it. Maybe a bike, the most. But this looks like this could have been terracing here. See these ridges. But I'm more inclined to think this was a quarry or someone's been digging into this. You'll find that that's probably been a hole here and it's filled. And over time, all the earth that's been filled there, it grows vegetation. But usually find this different kind of vegetation. For the surrounding vegetation, you're like, why is there a clump of a certain vegetation here? It's because this has been filled. This has been filled up. So I think this is they've actually mined into this hill at some point. You see see the shape? It's almost like there's a pathway. It's getting warm. It's getting warm, people. It's probably about 20 degrees Celsius. Right, I'm kind of going sideways here, so should I be going sideways? Probably. It'll probably take me around this wall and up the hill. You see, these trees are more than capable of growing on these slopes. If you can grow these big trees on these slopes, you could grow anything. If these slopes can support that kind of root system, these are deep, these have got deep soil. It's like a wee bonsai tree. Yeah, that thing. Look at that one. I think that's an ash tree. An ash. I think you can tell it's an ash tree because of this pattern. It's almost like diamonds. You can see it after a while. I think it's an ash tree. It's old pine trees. So we've got a gate here. And it looks like I stood on my shit. Oh, there's a job on, look. Right, we've got to climb this fence, guys. It's a funny wee tree, that. It's like it's been big and it's been destroyed, well, snapped, and it's still growing. Right, we've got up this hill here. There's a skeleton. Where there's life, you'll always find death. But you can see here that this was probably a floodplain. There's probably a loch. Now it's just reduced to a river run through. This area was probably melted glacier ice that formed a loch or a lake. Here's the entrance. I might go back on the other side. Looks like a better pathway up the hill. And I'm on the side of the terraces. And we'll see, guys, if there's any remains up here of any Iron Age hill fort or... But the farmers, they just dig everything up, they don't care. They don't really care, it's their livelihood, so they don't care about the history. And my missus says, that's what my missus says to me too, but I says, but even these ruins were thousands of years old to them back then. And why are we so interested in them? Because you think back in the olden days that these old ruins, that the farmers and that wouldn't really care that much, but they're still thousands of years old, these farmers as well. Like even to, there's only a couple of hundred years apart for us and that farmer, but still thousands of years between these were created. Right, we're climbing the hill, guys. I'm not sure what this hill's called. It will have a name, but you can see it's like a valley. It comes down and it flattens out in the middle here, and you see and this is how the glaciers carved, because these glaciers were like fucking hundreds of miles thick, and they came through and they pushed all the softer stuff away in Scotland anyway, and what was left behind was all the hard rock that the ice couldn't actually erode. So you've got a lot of exposed granite and stuff like that. All the softer stuff was just getting washed away, pushed away with ice. Some dry stone wall here, pretty cool, all the way up the hill. Some of it's collapsed here. We're starting to see some of the ridges on this from this angle on this hill. And definitely be a well around here. There's always a well as well. A source of fresh water to drink. And sometimes the water was infused with stuff. Stuff that you would say nowadays is no good for you. Well, in tiny, tiny amounts it was. See, this wall just goes on forever. These dry stone walls. They're built to last. Oh, it's a big hill, guys, I've got to say. Looking down there, it didn't look that big, but it's a high hill. I've got the shorts on, so I'm not getting too hot. I'm just getting puffed out. The fern, old ancient fern, it's turned into a ring. Another opening in the wall for the sheep, by the looks of it. We'll get a wee jog up here. Right, guys, it looks like we're no far away from the summit. It's been a trek. What views. You see the Henderland Hills over there. You wonder how they got all this stone up here. It was already here. There was bloody structures brought up here, made of this stuff. That guy came running through when he heard me. Just stay behind there, yous. The big guy. The horns. Nature's usually quite forgiving to me and my walks. So it's just like the farmer's code whistle. It's a slog. But we're nearly there. We're nearly there, people. Oh, you just see more and more. It's beautiful. See over the borders. I got juice as well, and I didn't think I was going to come this far up. Should have brought it with me. And there's some wall again. And there's another hill. Interesting sight hills here. See, they just go for miles. It's maybe it's an old animal pen or something. Squared wall here, like animal enclosure. Shite everywhere. Sheep shit and wool everywhere. This place is very fertile. There we go, look at this. Wow. Could have been the top of that hill, by the way, people, that have seen the ring, or it could be over here. Thing is, there's lambs around, so the sheep are a wee bit more touchy than usual. Oh, look at the views up here, guys. Just valleys of Peeblesshire. Look at that. Cut by apparently glaciers. There's something being dug out in the hill. Quite uniform. You can see it's like maybe like a wee quarry. That's where we've got the stone. Ram's having a piss. That ram's having a piss. They're just pissing everywhere. These tweed trails. So you can walk these hills. What I'm doing here is no any illegal or trespassing or any shit like that. You can walk these trails. This, I'm not sure. When I looked at the maps, what the hell this was up here. Top of the hill. See some stone remaining here. It looks like it goes round in a horseshoe shape. Like that. It could be just stone, like a quarry where they've taken stone. looks like there's plenty staying here. There's sort of bits of outcrop sticking out. Or it could have been a structure. Right guys, how long would it take to get up that hill? In fact, I want to see. See over the other side here on this side. So I might have seen this up in the maps. This ring going round here. See, it's like a mound up here. And it looks like there's a ring going round it. So this is what I might have seen in maps. You see this? Looks like there has been signs of terracing again, where there's been agriculture here. Very faint, no, very faint. Look at these hills. Didn't really want to miss anything whilst I'm up here. Get up there because it's higher than here, and if that's higher than here, that's better. Looks like there could be a dirt track there. Right guys, we're going to try and semi-jog this. No jogging, but you know what I mean, a brisk walk, should we say. Let's go. So I'm apologising for the bumpiness. Try and keep my hands as stable as I can. Something move fast to get up. This is right. We're down for that hill. That was quick. See, no time at all, guys. No time at all. I'm not even out of breath yet. So we're getting places. Right. Just need to take that in for a minute, man. Look at that. This just looks like tracks, like animal tracks, and this has nothing to do with terracing. The river seems to run down this hill. It could be a river, I think. A wee burn. We've got more of these tweed trails. Blowing in my arse now, like. But we're going to get better views up here. Much better views. Because that hill was blocking my view northwards. Wow. Why did I start running? It's too warm. God. It just keeps going. Getting old, man. Too old for this shit. You never told for this. Oh, jeez. Still got this bit here. Looks steep. We're gonna have a rest just at the bottom of it. Ah, there's the Henderland Hills over there. Not sure what these hills are. Is it Lammermuir or is it Lammermuir Hills? Oh, jeez. Didn't take me long to be blowing at my arse. Oh, right. We seem to be the base of this hill, which looked small but steep, so I'm going to have a wee minute to relax. I'll just let you look at that. Oh, it's beautiful though. What a view. Just enjoy that breeze. See, once I get to the top of the hill here, I've got to see the whole expanse. I can only see 180, about 180 degrees. Get to the top of this hill, I should be able to see, unless there's just more hills higher than that one. Hope no. Oh, I think that's an old farm wall that was here. You sort of see traces of, it's probably a farm wall. Like dry stain. Right, I can see there's some sort of track up here, but that's the one I'm going to follow. I'm going to take it nice and easy so I'm not blowing up my arse. A wee quarry pit, possibly. My cars, you can get a better view of that enclosure over there. It's there. You can see a couple of pits there as well, two pits beside each other. See it over there? Two pits. You always find there's a house built where there's maybe, again, you can't really get any closer than that. dash. Thing is, it's so soft. It's like climbing a hill on soft carpet. Your feet just sink in. It's like quicksand. It's so much energy draining, sapping than normal like hard ground. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. We've got something going on here. Look, we've got something going on here, guys. And I think we've just came across a hilltop. Nice. Well, hilltop fort. Sorry. Obviously it's a hilltop, we just bloody climbed it. You can see these earthwork ramparts. Cool. Oh, I'm glad I walked up here now. At least there's something. You can see me there. Just goes on for me. There's another point there. I'm not going to climb that one, will I? Will I? Oh. No, but this must be what I've seen on the maps. It could be a hill fort. It's got these sort of earthwork. Wonder if there was a brock up here. Brocks were like dry stone towers, and they had two concentric rings. They had one in the middle and one on the outside, and they were like towers. They sometimes stood like 80 feet tall, some of them. I think there's one called the Brock of Mosa up north, and it's still the best standing structure from their times. Oh, this is a good lookout post. This was definitely something up here. You can see it. You can see this ain't natural, the way it's been carved here. But looking down from the top, this is like a ring on the maps. It's a sort of flatter area here. I wonder if this is the central point of these rings, because we're surrounded by these earthworks, these ditches. Some of them are pretty deep. You can see there. They're deep ditches. That's pretty deep. Down there, that's maybe level with me, that's maybe 10, 11 feet. And this looks like the centre area here. These rings. You see there's something definitely happening up here. Definitely. And surely it wasn't quarrying, because in the old days, because why would you come all the way up here for stone? It's earth packed. It's earth packed in. It sounds hollow. This has been placed here. This isn't natural. This has been dumped here. This is, like I said, this isn't like natural rock under the earth. been some kind of hilltop or people living in it. You see the remains of the stone. A quarry, maybe an old quarry. See more. This ain't natural, this. See, there's a line all the way around here. This is quite a big ring around here. Didn't look that big on the maps, I've got to say. Looked like a roundhouse on the maps. So just walking around the perimeter, you can see more sort of earthworks around here. And this is a large area. It's a large area. Easily have a settlement up here. You can see and all these earthworks. These are like defences, like ramparts. Pretty steep. This almost looks like the entry to it. Huge earthworks around here. This is a hilltop, no doubt. You can see rings as well down there. Circles. Not much in the way of the terracing as I look at the hills here. What's that over there actually? Try looking for the terracing as well. In the picture it actually looked like the ones on the other side that we're looking at. So let's see. We're just kind of walking around the perimeter. This obvious structure of some sort. That looks like another entrance. Looks like there's two entrances. Big round. Could be a castle or anything here. Feels like we're now entering it. And like I said, it's vast. Probably wasn't as much greenery here. This was probably cut out to some degree. Turf, earthwork as they call it. There you go. I've got an idea now. That's probably dry stone. Looks like a dry stone wall here buried. I don't think that's just natural rock jutting out. Looks like all different sections. So this is possibly masonry underneath, like walls. But like I said, there was these structures called brocks, and they were like towers. Now Iron Age, they were Iron Age towers. Nobody talks about them in Scottish history or in school, but they were brocks made out of stone. This idea that all just Scottish people lived in these wooden structures, like there's so much stone around, why would you use the wood? Anyway, like I said, it looks like there's been dry stain up on top. I'll go home and research this, but you can see I'm going to have to take a photograph actually. I'm doing a live stream, but the photographs are always better quality, so I'll be back in 2 secs. Just going to take some video and photography. But we're down sort of in the borders area. These are the hills down the borders, Scotland. The central belt up there, and we've got the borders. You can see quite far across Scotland. Right, I think it's time to descend. Let's go for the most natural way to go down this hill. But I'm quite pleased with this. Like I said, it looks like it could have been some kind of settlement. I never came all the way up the hill for nothing. I'm curious about this one here, because this one's higher than that one. That one's higher than the one I was just on, so surely it can't take me that long to get up. Doesn't look as steep anyway. I think my car's just over there. I think. Where is it? I think it's just down there, in fact. I can't remember now where I am. It's down there somewhere. So it looks like there's more earthworks here. Like I said, all these are signs, human populations creating defensive forts, and you hear that dog barking, the one that was barking at the graveyard. Is it further away than it looks, guys? I think it is, I think that's further than it looks. So I'm maybe just going to call it a day with this one. I'm quite happy with what I've found up here. This is pretty cool. You can see the trenches, the ditches. I'll just walk through one of these ditches actually before I go. See if I can see any clues to what this was. See if I can see masonry here. Ah, the air's fresh up here, like what I say, beautiful fresh air. Right. So I'll go down this way and I'll come round this side, I think. Just for a different view. There's no point coming back the way I came, eh? This looks like a better slope. In fact, I probably could have came round the hill and came up this way, so it wasn't as steep. I like going downhill. I sometimes even run. See the rivers coming down the hills here. One there, one there. And this is, I think this is a river. There's maybe 2 or 3 rivers here. Carving out the landscape. Right, back to the car, guys. Gonna go home. I think it's a bit sunnier up in the central belt, up in the Edinburgh direction. So, might get some sunshine when I go up there. A bit cloudy here. Need aerial photography when you can look up the top of a hill down on places. You need drones. You climb a hill, have a look. That's quite cool. That looks like it's been quarried out as well down there. Still not really found anything of significance around here, apart from the traces of a hilltop and the church. The church was cool here. It's a big boulder. Got anything on it? Has it got any stories to tell? It's a silent, solemn boulder looking over the hills. What can you tell us? Is there someone buried here? You never know. You never know. Right, so like I said, we're starting to get round the side of this hilltop. And I'm just trying to look for something that's out of the ordinary. There's a beautiful part of the river, the bend. The bend down there, that's lovely. Something different. I feel something different about here. I think it's maybe this red moss or whatever it is. It's like redness around this area here. Then you have sort of some ridges. You see? See here? I don't know if this is just natural wear in the soil. But you can see it's all that red stuff. Like I said, you sort of look for clues like change of vegetation and stuff if you want to see maybe things hidden in the landscape. Yeah, that's quite a considerable ledge to stand on. But it just looks like it'd just been natural erosion of the hill by the looks of it. There's some brickwork there. Is it brickwork or is this natural? Has this been a wall at some point? These are the questions you ask yourself in these little investigations. You're always questioning. Because just because you want to see something, you'll see it. Just because I want to see ridge terraces here, I can't just think this is ridge terraces. This could be just natural erosion of the earth with the wind blowing against the hill. So you've got to look for certain clues. But this does look just like compacted earth. It's full of stains. It looks quite loose. Like loose. It looks like loose stuff that's eventually over time compacted. It goes right down. Did I come over that way? It's like a big valley. It's straight. I think I'll just go straight down here, straight down this valley. You can see the remains of something here. It's like a old dry stone wall again. Bees all over these wee flowers. But like I say, you can see an outline of a wall or something. It's like red sandstone. Cheers since Camillo. Cheers mate, it is a nice view. So you can see there remains of something here. Goes all the way up. Like I said, it could be a dry stone wall, but the bricks look a bit big for that, to be honest with you. You can feel it under here as well. There's a lot of stone underneath my feet as well here. See it? So, something was here. And it's not natural because you can just see by the way it's lined up in a row. It's like sandstone. So ancient these rocks around Scotland. A lot of these rocks formed when we were just one big continent, Pangea. Scotland was kind of in the centre of it all, I reckon. After finding that quarry with the fossils, I'm kind of intrigued now. Just go down this valley, I think. I feel lots of rock under my feet here as well. Here, right here as well. nice slope downwards, I think. We'll just go straight down. I think we'll go over this crest, this hill over here, because I think that's the one we climbed. So you can see here, there's none of that terracing stuff, none of these lines on here. It's just agriculture, it's just pastoral lands for pasture, for sheep and cows. It's too easy just to go down that hill. I hope my juice is still set cold. Right, back to my car. This is just the walk back to my car really, people, so whatever I discover on the way there, it's a wee bonus, a wee Brucey bonus. See some sheep tracks along here. Never really any good for humans to walk on these tracks. But you find that animals usually take the shortest route, the easiest route. It's a good way of getting avoid falling down holes or walking into big marshy puddles. If you follow these sort of tracks, you can see that here as well, that you can avoid these. Oh, you can see some of this terracing over in that hill. It's all the way down it. So it's like a ridge here. I feel like we're on the edge of something here. This kind of looks earthworky, to be honest with you, this part here. Is that the hill I came down? I can't remember. I need to look over this hill to see where I came from. I feel like we're on the edge of a hill here as well. I'm sure I could see the church where I was. Where am I, guys? Where am I? I'm lost. I think I'm more round the hill. I remember looking out to this, mind you. I remember looking out to this valley. was along the river. I know I followed the river. Is it over here? I think. Still not sure, guys. I'm walking around this whole hill. I think I'm more on this side rather than that side. Oh, there's somebody there. The hill walker. Hi there. You wouldn't happen to know the direction to Newlands? Newlands.
To the church?
Aye, the Kirk. Newlands Kirk, is it?
Yeah, it's straight along here. And then as you go along to the end, you'll go down and you'll see there's a signpost on the hill, and then that'll take you past the farmhouse.
Right, aye, I've seen the farmhouse, aye.
So that the just around that hill is the farmhouse, and then that takes you right back down.
Cheers, mate. I was kind of lost my bearings as I was walking around the hill there. Thank you. Cheers. I remember the river. Right. There's the same river. The river must go beyond that hill. Aye, that must be the first hill I climbed there. And then I've went up that way. I've came all the way round. Well, at least I get to see the good extent of the hills. It's pretty steep. Same again, it looks, these turfs look like terracing. This old fern. This stuff always reminds me of like prehistoric jungles, but this, underneath this fern, looks like there's rows. I'd like to see what this would be like with all this fern here. Maybe come back in the winter when this is all sort of died off, because I'm sure the fern dies off in the winter. It goes like a brown. You maybe see the definitions of this side of this face of the hill better. Well, I was just surrounded by fern. It looks like rows of fern. See it? Looks like rows of fern. There's that gate there that I climbed to. That's the hill that I was up before, guys. And I came down to that gate and I went straight up that way. There's people already up there now. It looks like I've started a trend. Just shit everywhere from the animals. Looks like it's been quarried. And what you need to remember that when you see this stone isn't prepared in pre-made blocks for you. If you see these blocks buried, there's a good chance there was maybe a wall there. There's loads of flies. Thing is about there being loads of shit, there's loads of flies. Loads of animals, loads of flies. I can't wait to get to the car to get my drink. It's probably like 30 degrees in my car right now. Some water up here. Even though it's roasting hot, we still managed to get fully water in here. It's quite rare. Some stone. I'm starving. Absolutely starving, guys. All this walking. These horseflies, man, they're worse than bees or that, because they bite you. They don't sting you, they bite you. Feels like I'm walking on a giant terrace here, to be honest with you. Look at that. You've got another one up here. Flat. Yeah, I didn't come that way. I came over that hill. So we'll go down this way. Right, nostalgic smell up here. Don't know what that is there. Something caught my nose there and just smell like pure nostalgia. There's oil or something in there. Petrol. You smell it. Yep, I know. Over there way. Yep. Thanks. The guy was just keeping me right there. I kind of know where I am now because I climbed this hill round to this side. I didn't realise how far I walked, guys. Jesus, that was a trek. About a tan maybe. There we go, there's the graveyard down there. See buddy, am I right? Is this the terraced hill that was in Robert Chambers' book? Kinda looks terraced. Is this the terracing he was talking about? It's more like paths, to be honest with you, rather than terracing. Wow. Some heat. Have a seat. See, this does look kind of ridgy, I've got to say. I could be walking along. See some bricks here. Oh, shit. Right, my car's just behind the trees. What's that? Tissue. My son got a cool book. It's called Cuckoo Lane, The Hound of Ulster. I was thinking about reading some of that on a video. Not a lot of people know the story of Cuckoo Lane, especially if you're Scottish or Irish. You want to know these stories. We all know about the Egyptian, the Greeks, the Romans. But have you ever heard about the story of Cuckoo Lane? Well, if you haven't, I think I'm going to read some. My son got quite an old book. It's like 1930 something, 1931. I think I've got a thorn in my shoe. Pretty painful walking down. I've got something sticking in my shoe there. A thorn, something sticking in my trainer. Something jagging my fucking toe all the way down. Tiny bit of grass or something sticking into my toe. Back to the car. Let's get home. You wonder what they're shouting to each other, eh? He's obviously the ringleader. Gate. Oh, nice cool shade of the trees. way did I come through there? I'm sure I can't feel over there, eh? I'm going to go back down this way. Rotten wood, is there any fungi growing? No. How's it do? See where the sheep came up. Old Scots pine, this one. Old Scots pine. Right, so there's a fence down here. I don't know if there's a way. Look at that bad boy. It's an old tree. I'll climb over here. There's the graveyard there. The big bad wolf's coming. That's why all the sheep are making that noise. You can tell when there's a wolf in the area. Like I say, you can see faint lines of this terrace in here, but that was only one example the guy used. That was 150 years ago or something. So over time, weathering would have eroded that just because it's so open to the elements. all the graves are facing, is that south? Are these graves facing south? North? South? Usually Christian graves face east. The gravestones all face east. So I wonder if that is east. That's west. Well, it looks like these are all facing kind of north, where I'm standing. That old tree. That old oak tree. That's a beast. See, he's the granddaddy to all these ones. He's a big one. Like sweating my eyes. Sweat my eyes, people. So we're just kind of done a full circle back to where we started now. So that was a good, God, a couple of hours anyway. 2 hours. Nice walk for these people if you can't go there yourself. And it's maybe the weather's a bit crap and you want to just stay in and look at some of this. I like this little bit here. There's a boat in there. And there's the old car sitting there. So people, back to the start in my exploration of this area. Newlands Kirk, which is here, an abandoned church. Robert Chambers spoke about the terraces up in these hills, which I've seen faint lines of, but to be honest, I've been to more places with more prominent terraces. He spoke about Arthur Seat as well, and they're more prominent than these ones. But you can see where there could have been traces, and you can see where there was possibly a Hillfort at the top of this hill. Anyway, guys, hope you have a good day, a good weekend. I'll see you later. Cheers.